morning, everyone. Thanks so much for logging in to After GMS. It is 7:45 on Thursday, the 25th of August.
Yeah.
How fast that flies. I'm Tracy McCain here with Christian Morgan and Megan Malaris.
All right, let's get things started with the forecast. Typical August, chance of storm again this afternoon, a little bit more humid.
Yeah,
You know the drill.
I think pretty much covered it all. I'll tell you one thing that's remarkable, though. We haven't hit 90 degrees in 14 days, which is almost unheard of for August. Today will be day 15. And in fact, well, let's look back here at the beginning of the month. Remember when we had all those consecutive days in the 90s, and then all of a sudden we just kind of hit pause on the summertime heat. And since then, since the 10th, we've been running below our average high temperature. Up until yesterday, we got up to 88 degrees. So the final week of August, rounding out on a warm note. Of course, we are covered up with mostly clouds this morning. If you look out over Truist Field at Wake Forest University, and I do think we'll see a partly cloudy sky by the afternoon, but we do have this stationary front that's kind of wobbling a little bit, moving to the north a little bit. That does bring with it some extra clouds and also does bring a better chance for a few pop-up thunderstorms for the next few afternoons. Over the course of the weekend, cold front to our north and west will get a little closer to us, but never really has success in really crossing the Piedmont and aiding in any relief for cooler temperatures or lower humidity. So that is really not the fall cold front that fall lovers are looking for. Rain chances stay pretty low over the next few days. Honestly, just an isolated storm today. We'll keep it an isolated storm chance for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. And then just a stray shower possible early next week. So we look to stay mainly dry for the new work week. The humidity, yes, is back, and it doesn't look to go anywhere anytime soon. Dew points will hover in the upper 60s to near 70, right in that sticky range for the next little while. Partly cloudy today. We'll warm it up into the mid 80s. Again, a few isolated storms are possible this afternoon. I just don't expect there to be very many. Meanwhile, down to the tropics, we'll start to keep a little closer eye on this as we head into the end of August and, of course, into September, which is peak hurricane season. Right now, nothing really to be concerned about. Just two areas the National Hurricane Center is watching. And one is this area of low pressure moving right over the Windward Islands right now near Barbados and Guadalupe. Only has a 20% chance of development in the next 5 days. Now, the newest system that they're watching is just an area of low pressure that has just emerged off the coast of Africa, producing some disorganized showers and thunderstorms down that way right now. Only has a 20% chance of development at this time. But as it moves out over water, it likely moves over warmer water, weaker winds, and it could develop a little bit. But at this point, there's nothing really for us to be concerned about. Things are still relatively quiet, although don't write that off. Things can get very busy very quickly this time of the year in the tropics. Meanwhile, back here at home, there is not much change, not much variation. You get option 1 or option 2, either 88 or 87 over the next 7 days. Low pop-up storm chance through the weekend. Will be a bit drier, humid, hot, feeling like 90 heading into next week.
Feeling like 90, but not 90.
But not 90.
So it's like, you know, that relief that you need mentally, knowing that it's not 90 degrees, but your body says, is it?
88 and 87 look better on the forecast too, don't they?
They
If
do.
you have 90 on the forecast, it just looks a bit different.
Right.
And that's not me being lazy. That's literally the weather pattern. 88 and 87 every day.
No one would assume that.
Literally, I was looking at the forecast this morning. I was like, it's got to
Change a little.
Nope. That's it.
It's like the flattest 7 day we've seen all summer.
You know that emoji where all the eyes are just like straight across and the face is straight across? That's what our forecast looks like.
And you know, you should do that in your emoji cast tomorrow.
Yeah.
He does this sometimes on the Good Morning Show. He's like, your forecast in emojis. It's kind of cute.
Tune in tomorrow to see the emoji cast.
Love it. Now that is a tease. All right, let's get to our first conversation this morning. North Carolina, of course, home to a dozen national parks, from the Blue Ridge Mountains to the coast with Cape Hatteras and the Cape Lookout Shore.
All right, those fun facts all in honor of National Park Service Founders Day. Wonderful day, especially as we celebrate all the beauty in and around our state. On this day in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signed what is called the Organic Act.
And this would establish the National Park Service. The Park Service protects 400 areas in all 50 states here in the U.S., the U.S. territories, and D.C. A combined total of, get this, 84 million acres of national parks.
Wow.
Okay, so we want to know, what is your favorite national park? while we wait, of course, because we want you to type it all in the comment section, I guess we'll get the conversation rolling right here on After GMS. I have been to the Great Smoky Mountains not as a camper, just as a kind of like a pass-through.
A driver.
Yeah, exactly. On my way to Tennessee. And it's just amazing. I listen to waterfalls every night to go to bed, just to kind of help me relax. So now I'm thinking I need to go back and just really enjoy the waterfalls that they have there.
Oh, I love a good waterfall.
Yeah. I've never been to one ever. You know, the closest is in the Weather Garden, which is not a waterfall. But, you know, it's a, fountain, yes. So I would love to just kind of enjoy that natural environment, seeing as though it helps me go to sleep every night.
Yeah. There are a lot of waterfalls in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park if you go back and get out of the car. There's
You have to get out of the car, Tracy. Get out of the car.
I know. That's why I accept it. I just love that you're giving it. That's awesome.
I think it was on After GMS a couple months ago. You remember this. Tracy said to us that she would let us take her hiking and camping.
And then I walked back on it.
And then you walked that back.
Yeah, that hasn't happened.
Right, because I continue to walk back on that. But I love it. Keep giving shade. I love it.
Okay.
So I love the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I went for the first time last year. My husband, who's North Carolina native, he's been several times before.
Yeah.
But last year we took our son, who was I think about 18 months at the time. I was newly pregnant with Elizabeth. We didn't even know she was a she at that point. But we went on this trip. We booked a cabin, so beautiful. Didn't see that many animals, but what I loved about the experience was all the hiking that we did. We did, of course, the hot tourist spots like Cades Cove. We hiked Clingman's Dome, which was amazing, and saw the big lookout up at the top. We saw the Appalachian Trail, which is, of course, so historic and famous. Saw people actually hiking it through, which was pretty cool. And then just really enjoyed the scenery, just the peacefulness of being at such a high elevation in the national park. It is beautiful, certainly world renowned, and we're lucky to have at least part of it in North Carolina.
Yeah, we really are. A place I haven't been, but it's on my list to go, hopefully, sooner than later. I really want to go out to Yellowstone, and because I've never been out that way. I've been out west, I've been south, but I've never really been into the upper Midwest like Montana, Wyoming. I really want to go out that way. It's some beautiful national parks up that way. But like you said, we're very blessed to have some right here in our backyard. Of course, just you can't beat a drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Exactly, which is exactly what to do.
You can also get out of the car on that.
You can. They do have lookouts. And you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time up there.
You don't.
Just take a few pictures, say I was here, post on Instagram, because it's not true unless you post it.
Of course not.
Not
about the experience.
Exactly, but the next time I do something like that, I really do want to take in the experience this time. And I'm still walking back on camping out because I do feel like that's a little too long of an experience for me. I don't think I would last more than 4 hours.
I was going to say, you want an hourly experience, not a daily experience.
Right. Okay. The daily rate, please, is too much.
There's a lot
hourly.
There's a lot of easily accessible hiking trails and even waterfalls too off the Blue Ridge Parkway. If you go up, you can ride it up towards Grandfather Mountain. There are several different little areas there that you can, park off. Plenty little parking lots there. Plenty of places that are easily accessible that are easy hikes.
Yeah, plenty of places in Blowing Rock. I'm sure we could go on and on about the list there. But as far as national parks, we have some even here in Greensboro. I believe Guilford Courthouse National Military Park is part of the Park Service. It has closed when the government has shut down a few times over the past several years because it's a national park and protected by it. So some great places here locally. They're not the expansive, big forested parks that you see in certain parts of the country, but certainly parks to appreciate that have a long-standing history.
So you asked this question, are you getting some responses?
Oh, yeah. What are some of your favorite national parks? Let's see, we are getting some responses. Scott said Cape Lookout is the best. The ferry ride from Harker's Island to the seashore, watching the horses, is priceless. Melita loves the parks in Alaska. Joanne loves the Blue Ridge Parkway. Rhonda said favorite park has to be Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Last time she saw a herd of elk. Rhonda, I'm so envious. We wanted to see a herd of elk. Did not see any. Maybe it was just too hot when we went. Let's see. Bobby said, without a doubt, it's Yellowstone National Park. It's on my list. Tamrika said in Pembroke, Virginia, the Cascades, 66-foot-high waterfall.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a beautiful one.
Do most of these places with the waterfalls, do they have like amusements where you can take a dive guided type situation?
Oh, no.
Or is it going to be like, remember in Superman, the kid went over the dam and he came and, I don't want that. That's not what I want. But I mean, like, just like a safe amusement to like, I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Maybe. I mean, in Cades Cove, you can just take your car around the circle and see all of the different sections of it. That's part of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. But you can also get out and take like a horse-drawn carriage ride around and learn about it from the perspective of the settlers who first set up their homes there. Yeah. So there is stuff you can do at certain parks, but I know they really try to preserve the natural beauty of them, try to limit a lot of the touristy stuff, just let you experience it the natural way.
Let you experience and explore, really.
Right. Yeah. What it's supposed to do. I'm like, where are the rides?
Where are the refreshments?
Where's the log flume at?
The log flume. It's not Six
convenience
Flags.
stand here. Where are the food trucks? Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
Uber Eats, anyone? Okay.
Yes. Oh, Tamrika says she can swim there. So I guess that means, she said the water is always freezing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. At least, thank you for the honesty, because now I'm not going to go in. I'll just do what I was going to do originally, which is to just watch it and listen.
That's funny.
Exactly. Thanks, Tamrika. Wow. That's my girl.
A lot of great suggestions, though, on where to go. That is honestly our bucket list, is to go on all the national parks. We did Europe a couple times before we were parents, because we figured, all right, that's going to be more difficult when the kids get here. We want to do the national parks with the kids. So a lot of on our list. Yellowstone, I think, might be first, so we'll see.
It's going to be awesome.
I know Disney Park doesn't count, but that is on our list.
There are amusements there.
There are amusements, food, and food trucks.
And the log
all
flume.
the things.
And man-made waterfalls and the log flume. That's right.
Guys, I can go to a park too.
There's something for everyone.
It's just going to be a different type of park. All right, this is a great conversation. We're going to move on to your morning headlines. There is a lot happening in the area today we have to talk about. This one has been a story we've been on top of since yesterday in High Point, where police and law enforcement from all over the area are searching for a missing 81-year-old woman. The family of Hetty Dawkins reported her missing yesterday morning, more than 24 hours ago at this point. High Point police say she has severe dementia and they believe she's injured. If you see her, know where she could be headed, or have seen her within these last 24 hours, please call 911. An update now about a deal to bring a supersonic jet maker to PTI Airport. The airport authority officially approved the deal with Boom Supersonic. It is a 40-year contract to build and operate the facility at PTI Airport. Now we know where that $100 million from state and local incentives, how it will be spent. $15 million is for grading, $56 million for construction costs, and Boom Supersonic expects to break ground at the end of this year.
A new plan is in the works to build apartments and restaurants at the site where a lot of us have so many memories. The former Cone Health Women's Hospital off of Green Valley Road in Greensboro. City council members say it will complement the area and add much needed housing. Developers plan to break ground next spring, and the project is scheduled to finish in 18 to 24 months. Millions of borrowers will see a difference in student loan debt. President Joe Biden announced efforts to ease the burden. Some student loan borrowers could have as much as $20,000 in debt erased. You can go to our website, WFMYnews2.com, to find out if you qualify.
And one more check on your 7-day forecast. Typical summertime weather locking back in place. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky this morning, giving way to a partly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures are back in the mid-80s this afternoon, too. There will be a few storms on radar, I expect, but not too many. We'll keep that chance for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms in through the weekend. Just hit or miss, not washouts here. It will be warm and it will be muggy, too. Temperatures hover in the upper 80s over the next 7 days. Those upper 80s will feel like 90 when you factor in the humidity. So it's about what we would expect for the end of August into September, but fall is not too far away.
And you still do the hold me to it forecast here on WFMY, right?
We do.
Yeah.
In the
So
evenings.
now that is where it matters in terms of
No, I don't matter.
the degree variance, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of keeps you in your most accurate streak and all that, right?
Three degree guarantee. I'll give you a little inside forecasting here, and then I know we got to go. Little inside forecasting tip for me. One thing I try to do, you can stick, you could say, well, it's going to be 85.
Yeah.
But the way I try to do it is, okay, are we more, if I'm unsure of it, are we more likely to hit 90, or are we more likely to stay at, say, 85? So if we're a little closer, on one end or the other, usually I try to go up to try to account for that. Because our official temperature is taken out at PTI. So there can be some areas around here that maybe get a degree or two cooler or a degree or two warmer, just based on local climates and if they're in a valley or up on a mountain or something.
Elevation.
Like that. Yeah.
See, I love when you open up, your processes to us.
I have to account for everybody,
Right.
everybody in our area, not just one specific station. So
Got it.
There's a little bit of science that goes into that.
Well, we've heard you say time and again, it's a little cloudier in the morning, so that you think maybe the temperature could be affected by the cloud cover,
Right.
give or take. So that's interesting. You have to make adjustments.
And we're in such an interesting part of the country, especially our geology. We have the mountains to our left, and we have
The
the beaches to our right. And so a lot of times, if you get a certain wind direction, as the wind comes down the mountain, as wind sinks, it warms. So a lot of times you have to account for your wind direction, maybe warming things up later in the day.
Right. All right. There you go.
All right, I'll get off in the weeds on that. Okay.
No. I mean, I appreciate it. I think everybody appreciates it. See? Ta-da. Everybody appreciates it. We love you, Christian. Christian, you're the best. Thanks so much for all the information. Christian. Okay. And then Joanne said, Christian, please say goodbye to summer. So, see, everybody's like, yeah, we love you. Good job.
Love
all
you
right.
too.
Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS.
Get out there and get to it. Let's make it a great day.
See you.